will be interviewing, come chit-chatting with Miss Shweta Gurnani, software development engineer at Amazon and former SD intern at Amazon, Twitter and Walmart, and a Google SPSS scholar. So before listening to her SAFARNAMA, let's take a quick glance at the highlights of her SAFAR. She is an outstanding student who completed her degree in Bachelor of Technology in Computer Science from IIIT Una this year, and she is a gold medalist. She hails from Agra, Uttar Pradesh. She was also a part of Microsoft Engage Mentorship and a contributor to the Script Summer of Code and a coordinator at Force, which is the Computer Science Club of IIIT Una. Wow, ma'am, such a rich and diverse set of experiences you have. We are definitely going to have a lot to learn from you throughout this session. Hello, ma'am. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, ma'am. So I'm Vanshika Pandey, your junior in final year in the same branch as yours. And today I'll be interviewing and asking you a few questions regarding your journey in college and the aforementioned achievements. So before I start throwing questions to you, ma'am, regarding your internship and all, what advice would you like to give your juniors regarding the mindset we should adopt? As there are several instances where we underestimate ourselves and suffer with low confidence and do not even dare to take the first step towards learning and doing new things.
Um, One set of advice would be like everybody goes through this phase, and everybody, like at some point, like not at some point, like almost every day feels that whatever they are doing is not enough, or they are not capable of that, or there is a lot of stress and there is a lot of pressure that will the things make out, will I get an internship, so on and so forth. Like there's a lot of pressure of like college and everything. So I would say that everyone goes through this phase, but one thing is like if you will work hard consistently, this will sort out with time. And make one thing, like sooner or later everyone gets settled in life. I have seen people like get settled and like with very good, like with very good everything in the last. So yeah, everything will fall in place. Just keep working hard and just enjoy your life.
So that means working hard is one of the major keys to
Definitely,
success.
definitely.
Right, ma'am. So moving on to the next question, ma'am. What are the best resources for grabbing the internship opportunities that you used?
Like in my time it was like the YouTube, like there was not a YouTube boom, like there was not a lot of content creators and not much was available, so I mostly preferred the discussion forums from Lead Code, Geeks for Geeks and Hacker. But right now a lot of YouTube resources are also present. One of my favorites are like Striver
Right.
and Aditya Verma for DP specifically. So I would suggest these two YouTube channels. And second advice would be like Lead Code is a must. So practice DSA on Lead Code. And there is one section called discussion forum. So even if you practice a question or like if you solve a problem, just make sure you go to the discuss section and read the most voted questions. So you will get a different perspective, like different like the ways in which it can be done, because you will think of one way, but you will like be surprised to know other ways as well. And slowly and gradually you will like your coding style will improve reading that only. So
Right.
yeah,
So that means if one is preparing for internship opportunities, or even if he or she is preparing for the placements, then lead code discuss section is something that one should emphasize a lot.
definitely.
So that means if one is preparing for internship opportunities, or even if he or she is preparing for the placements, then lead code discuss section is something that one should emphasize a lot.
Definitely.
Okay, ma'am. So then we have another question, which is like, could you please enlighten us on the type of internship you did? Yeah. So moving on to the next question, ma'am. The next question we have is that could you please enlighten us on the type of internship you did?
So I only have an experience of industrial internship. So I would say that like when you join in as an intern, there is no expectation from you. They know you are just in college, so they don't expect. Even when I just joined Walmart,
Right.
so there was one experience, and I just made the code changes, and my mentor was like, "Oh, do you know what is Git?" I was like, "Yes, I know." So basically, like if they're very senior, so they don't expect literally anything from you, that you know anything. So yeah, the expectations are very low. So you get to learn a lot. You can ask any question. And second, like when you just join, so you don't know how corporate works, what are work ethics, how to put your question, how to unblock yourself. So these all things you just learn in an internship. So whenever you join as a full time, so that definitely gives you an edge over others who join just fresh out of college. So yeah, that is definitely helpful.
All right, ma'am. All right. Okay. So the next question we have is that, ma'am, you have been a part of many mentorship programs. To name a few, we have programs hosted by Google and Microsoft. So, ma'am, how did these programs help you, and why should one participate in such programs?
Um, that programs definitely helped me. So my first program was Google SPS, an out external program, which I participated and got selected. So it helped me in a number of ways. So first was networking. So I think there were like 74 people around selected all over India, and like everyone was super awesome. Like with what they're doing, so you get a lot of like inspired, and you see their journey, you get tips, and you can just connect with them. So definitely that helps. Second is definitely like you get to make a work on a project and on like in a team of two. So like you are randomly paired with someone, right? So you can collab with them, and like whatever project you will make, will can you can add it on your resume, and that definitely helps. Because like if you just work on a personal project, generally I being a person, I procrastinate a lot, and that
Right,
project gets extended. But if you have a deadline, you have to complete that, right? Third
right,
is like you get interview calls as well. If you are part of this program and if you perform okayish as well, then also you get interview calls. So that is definitely helpful. And in that interview also, that the project which you work upon has definitely a weightage. So most of your interview is like revolves around that, and that is a very easy part because you have created the project. It will definitely give you an edge, right?
right,
There are like number of sessions organized by the in these programs. Like one was resume review session. So when I joined, I in my second year, I had a lot of issue. Like every second year student don't know how to make a resume, and they
right,
have to like, personally I review a lot of resumes from second year, first year. I have literally reviewed 100 plus resumes, and everybody makes silly mistakes, and I also did. But that session definitely helped me that what recruiter wants, because those sessions were by senior most recruiters of Google that time. So yeah, that also is one thing which helps. And last thing, but not the least, that it gives you a lot of self confidence.
right,
And one more thing, like it adds, like if a brand is on your resume, that will
definitely,
make your resume stand out from
right.
others.
So it is like at the same time grooming you and also providing you with the internship opportunities and adding a name to
Definitely.
your resume.
Yeah.
Right, ma'am. So, ma'am, moving on to the next question. What prerequisites, if any, are required before applying to the globally renowned firms by an aspiring candidate? And the second part is that also what topics should one lay more emphasis on?
Okay. To be honest, like I would never say that there should be any prerequisite, because I would say just go ahead and apply. Because if you get a call, or if a resume is shortlisted, you will prepare that in 20 days, which you can't prepare in 1 year. And this is my personal experience.
Right,
Like everybody procrastinates, and if they don't have a deadline, but if they have a interview schedule, they'll work like indefinitely to just make that happen. So, like one should focus on DSA
ma'am.
definitely. And topics to focus upon, I have seen that trees, graphs, TP, this is something which is like a lot asked. So that, and yeah, the most basic one, recursion.
Okay,
Before starting data structures, I would say go first to recursion, because that was the biggest blunder I did in my college.
right.
First, like dirty your hands upon recursion, and then focus upon other topics like trees, graphs, and DP.
All right, ma'am. All right. A wonderful piece of advice because these days even students preparing for placements also are stuck like what to start with and like what to lay more emphasis on. So like the topics you told us are definitely going to be helpful in the order in which we want to start. Okay, ma'am. So moving on to the next question now. How grabbing an internship at prestigious companies like Amazon, Twitter, and Walmart becomes helpful in building a career further?
Um, that has definitely helped me. One is like it gave me the self confidence, which was a lot required in me. And second, like I got to know about how to unblock myself, how to work cross team, how to ask doubts. These
Right,
are things which will come with experience, definitely, and definitely it improved my development skills. It helped me like how to work in deadlines, right? So these all things generally you will learn when you just join, like enter a fresh grad. But if you just like work on internship, it will definitely give you an edge over others.
right. Okay. So, ma'am, you got a pre-placement offer from almost all of the companies you interned with, like which in itself is an incredible achievement. So, ma'am, it would be really grateful if you could help and share some tips on how a student can convert their internship to a full-time offer.
Okay, so I would say that ask as much doubts as you can, but like make sure that you first Google it yourself before asking doubts, because like this is a basic expectation. Second, I would say that like have good terms with your manager and mentor.
Right.
Like keep them updated about your progress, and if anything is like if there is an issue, just call it out. Just don't left it to yourself, because your manager should have your progress check. Third, like maintain the documentation well, because like at the end of internship in most of the companies, not every company, you will be asked to give the presentation, or like ask such questions that what blockers you faced. And in Amazon specifically, you have to create an intern doc in which you have to write that what tasks you worked upon, like what blockers you faced, what challenges you faced, how you resolved them, and there is like a multi-pager doc. So you have to create that, and on that basis also, like that plays a very heavy role in like deciding whether you get an internship or not. So documentation is one thing which you should focus upon, so that in the last you can just, because you won't remember everything which you have done in the 8 weeks, right? This is one thing. And yeah, next I would say that work hard, like push your limits. Yeah,
Right.
that's one.
So, like networking along with the documentation and how you work throughout your project helps you create your this pre-placement offer.
Definitely.
Right. Okay. Ma'am, we came to know that you were a member of FORCE, which is the Computer Science Club of IIIT Una, and some other college clubs as well. So, ma'am, how being part of such clubs and societies enhanced you, and how you so well managed all the roles with ongoing academic stuff?
I would suggest that these clubs are good for networking, because when you enter just in the first, second year of your college, there
Right.
are a lot of seniors, right? But you don't know which senior to approach for what. Not
Exactly.
every senior do everything, right? And
Right.
you want to do something. So these clubs generally give you, like most of the people in the club are those which are very passionate about computer science. At least my seniors were.
Right.
So like these will like connect you with those kind of seniors, and if they don't know about it, they'll connect you with someone else, right?
Right.
So definitely this the networking is something which is very important, which you get when you join these clubs. And second, when you work in, like I was not very fortunate enough to have these technical fest in the college because of like COVID.
Right.
But like in the technical fest also, you get to work upon projects, so you collaborate with the seniors, work on those projects, you learn from their experience, which is a very good thing in my opinion. So these clubs help in that way. There is one more thing that I don't know if it is still continued, but there used to be bitration and codration.
Right, ma'am. It
So
is.
that was something which was nice, because we used to prepare questions, and that used to help us in our like groom with CP, because I completely left CP I think in my third year. So at least with these competition, at least I used to be in so much, at least that much touch.
Okay. So, like again, the fact that they help us to network, and definitely seniors are a guiding light. So that is how these clubs are going to help us when we become a part of these clubs.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, ma'am. Please, if you could share some tips that can make our resume stand out when we are applying for the internship chances, and can increase the chances of us getting shortlisted.
I would say that mention everything in the bullet points. Like I have seen people like writing projects, like writing 3 4 lines of projects. Right, this is
Right.
not something which should be done. You should have like clear bullet points. You should write the impact, if any. Like if you create an app, that how much users, if it is hosted on Play Store, how much users are there. So you should write that, like what impact your like app your or any app, website has, or what problem it is trying to solve. This is
Right.
something which should be clear, that
Right.
what problem you're trying to solve, right? And
Right.
like if you have a link to something, because like everything you write, just make sure you have clear data points, that like it should be more numeric, like it should be more integral, like integer based, that what is the impact, what percentage it is solving. So don't write that solve problem, like like x problems on like rating. Well, if you write code forces, like solve problems on
Right.
code forces, this is not the way. Like write the rating, try to attach a link to it. So make sure you have a proper data point for it, and also make sure like attach the link wherever it is possible.
All right.
Also make sure that education is at top, then experience, then projects. The sequence also matters.
Right.
That is something which is like I have seen people like writing experience in the last. No, should not be the way. It should be on the top, because that is something the highlight of the resume.
All right, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So, ma'am, what role do the projects have to play, and in what kinds of projects must one have in their resume? And also, ma'am, how does participating in programs like Girl Script helps?
What kind of projects, that is completely your choice. Like what kind of projects you want, make it a, be it a part of web development, app development, ML, anything you want. Just make sure like you have created a project on your own and you know the in and outs of the project. Just make sure about that. And or if you, it's a part of hackathon, right, and you work on specific parts, so make sure you mention it that it's a part of hackathon and I worked on this part. Like write anything in your resume which you clearly knows, be it anything, or be it like as small as possible, but it should be like you should know the in and outs of it.
Right.
And second question, like how it helps in girl script, I would
Right.
say that like getting part in such things, because you get to work, like the mentors are good in those, generally those programs. And like you, like at least I personally learned Git a lot because I was in second year and I don't know Git much at that time. So that program definitely helped me to like make sure that how to work in such a, like, because 20-30 people used to work on a single project, right? So Git was something which used to play an important role. Also, like you have to work on a small feature, so you get to know that how to just contribute in a big project, like make small changes. So that things definitely help. And this is something which your personal project can't give, because personal project is something which you are working upon, but this programs will like teach you how to work in a team, how to
Right.
collab. Yeah.
Right, ma'am. Okay. So the next question is like, ma'am, how would you describe the general procedure of application to internships and full-time roles?
General procedure, to be honest, it is very different. Like for every other company, it is different. But I would suggest that like join the Telegram groups. One is the Ursh Goel one, and there are
Right.
some and there are some YouTube channels as well for this. Subscribe to those, get added to those Telegram groups. See if there is an opening. Just apply, try to see if a referral is required. Not in every job opening a referral is required. So seniors are the best way. Like seniors are the best person to tell if you require a like referral for that particular role or not. Just reach out to them and ask if it is required, and if it is required, try to asking them that if they can connect with anyone, or try to search on LinkedIn. Else, like if it is not required, just go ahead and apply directly. So this is something, yeah. And for preparation, it's mostly like if it's product based companies, most of the time it's like they'll ask DSA, it will be most DSA heavy. But if
Right.
it's startup, it will be most project heavy.
Right, ma'am. Right. So, ma'am, how can one prepare in the best way for a full-time role? Like, what would be the roadmap that one should follow?
DSA roadmap.
Ma'am, as in for full-time role, including DSA, what all other things one should include while preparing?
I would suggest for full-time role, I would
Right.
suggest that DSA is something which plays a major role.
Right.
Second comes these four subjects: OS, networks, OOPS, and
Right.
DBMS. This is something which is most of the companies ask. Third is like you should have 3-4 personal
Right.
projects, but there should be one project in everyone which should stand out about among everyone, because you should know the in and outs of the problem. You should be ready to answer any type of question on
Right.
that. So that is something which you have, which you should have. In full-time roles, I realize in some companies, for example LinkedIn, ShareChat, these companies also focuses upon high level design and low level design. This is something which you should not panic about, that it's very hard or something. I personally had zero idea because all my offers were like PPO conversion, so I never had this HLD and LLD rounds. But like whenever I had LinkedIn and ShareChat, it was almost like in June this year when I
Right.
was just finished with college. And trust me, I just grabbed LLD for interviews in 2 days and HLD in 1 day. It's that, like, they ask very basic. You should have, like, if you have created some personal projects in backend, you are just good ahead to go. And like you will just need 2-3 days to ramp up to what from a fresher is asked. It's very
Okay.
deep, LLD and HLD, but from a fresher, they don't ask much. They just want
Basic.
a very high level. So
Right.
it's easy. It's not something which you should like hype upon. So like work upon that as well, HLD and LLD, but that is like very basic. You should know.
Okay. So, like, it is like that major time should be given to data structures and algorithms and
Definitely,
practicing.
yes. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And ma'am, often there is confusion among students regarding what to start with, like DSA or development or competitive programming or any other stuff, and how to manage all this if in case one is moving with all of them. So, ma'am, you brilliantly managed all of these. Like from your background, we can see that you have your hands in almost all of these domains, and like you handle the academics at the same time. So, ma'am, it would really be helpful if you could share some tips on handling all of these things.
To be honest, like there is this very common question which I have asked my seniors a lot, and most of the juniors have asked me that how to manage DSA and development together. This is the common question everybody has, and I had. I would say that don't do it together, one at a time. Do DSA for some months and development for some months, but don't do it together because it's not possible to do them together. And especially when you are in college, it's not
Right.
possible at all, because like the classes gets over at 5 and you don't have time, like you have very limited set of time. So if you will do both, you won't be able to focus on anything, right?
Right.
So this is something like, do one thing at a time. DS and development both are important. Second, how to manage academics. I would say that be very attentive in the class, because the teacher's notes help somehow. So if you are attending the classes, make sure you make proper notes, because most of the paper comes from there. This is one thing. And second thing is like, don't study every day. This is my piece of advice. Tell me I'm good medalist, but I never studied whole day. I used to study like 1 week or 10 days before final exams and 3-4 days before midsems, and that like cycle test, and that was sufficient, to be honest. That is something like, but in that time I used to leave everything. I used to study a lot,
Right.
but I won't suggest to like study every day. That amount of study is enough, to be honest.
Right. All right, ma'am. Okay. So, ma'am, one last question from the formal set of questions, which is like one piece of advice that you would like to give to the students who are starting their journey in the corporate world as full-time employees, so that they can like make most of the job they are doing.
Okay, I would suggest that it would be really good if you have a like a taste of development, like if you have worked in development, because like it will somehow help you. Though you will like get proper time to onboard yourself, you will
Right.
get sufficient time to get adjusted with the technologies. But like every team works in different tech stack. There is no common tech stack in any company, right? So, but at the same time, it's not difficult to switch between the tech stack. If you have a basic knowledge of front end, back end, it would be easy to switch in any tech stack you have. But if you have knowledge, that is definitely a plus. I would suggest do freelancing or internship if possible in college. Though I know that like generally in final year people want to enjoy their life. If you want, go ahead with that. Like in when you will come in off like corporate, in one
Right.
two months you will get like onboarded very well.
Right.
But if you want to just do something, and if you want to do something, I would suggest that go ahead with development and try to do some internships in startups. This is something which I personally feel that I should have done. Like
Okay.
I like when I had offers in my 6 months internship as well, I had an offer from startup and a full time like and an internship offer from Walmart. And I feel I selected Walmart, but I feel that I should have chosen a startup, because in startup you learn like tremendously.
Right.
So
Right. So, ma'am, that was all regarding the formal questions we had. Now we have some informal questions to just lighten up the mood. So, ma'am, how is it going in Bangalore, and what is the thing which you are loving the most?
in Bangalore, it is going good, to be honest. I I like moving out, so Bangalore is just an escape for me. To be honest, I am still work from home. Like my job is still work from home. It is getting like a hybrid from January onwards, but I
Okay.
shifted just because I wanted to escape home. Bangalore is good for me because it mostly has a freedom, which I want. I want like you can do night outs. There is a good light. No, but not nightlife. But yeah, everybody close like everything closed at one here, but still it's good. And I feel Bangalore is a bit safe as compared to other cities like Delhi. So yeah, Bangalore is nice except the traffic.
Right. I'll agree on this, ma'am. Okay. So, ma'am, how do you spend your weekends?
How do I spend my weekends? To be honest, I do nothing. Right now, I have shifted to an apartment, and what I am doing is going to DMart and just shopping, making like purchasing grocery, washing clothes. So this is my weekend looks like. This is how my weekend is looking like right now. Otherwise, I just used to sleep on weekends. Initially, I used to go to like hangouts and everything, but now I am bored.
So, ma'am, like no plans for like visiting different places at Bangalore, because we
Uh,
keep
uh,
hearing seniors like going to X Place or Y Place and like places like that.
To be honest, I have been to Bangalore. This is my third time I am here in Bangalore. I came to Bangalore 2 times when I was an intern. And when I came as an intern, I just explored Bangalore a
Okay.
lot. So
Okay.
now I am bored with this, I would say. But yeah, there are plans, maybe some trip in December end.
All right, ma'am. All right. Okay. So, ma'am, does it feel like people say that once you get into the corporate world, the pressure kind of reduces, because once you are in college, like you enter college, you feel that you have to give exams and all, and they tell that once you settle in your life, it is going to be a little chill. So, ma'am, is it something like that? How true is this
No,
statement?
it's not chill at all. Like you have your own set of problems when you enter corporate, and you have your own set of problems when you
Yeah.
enter college. The one thing which I feel is better, that in college you are forced to study those things which you don't like. Definitely in corporate also you get sometimes the work which you don't like as well. But yeah, all in all, it is better than doing the useless assignments.
Right, ma'am. Okay. So, ma'am, now that we have come to the end of this amazing interview, I would request you to say a few words of wisdom for the viewers, or any sort of motto or knowledge that you would love to share with the viewers.
I would suggest that work hard and party harder in college. This party harder term in college is something which, like, our COVID batch missed a lot, because, like, in the prime years, we were not a part of college, but like, for whatever I had been the part of college, I had done a number of trips and everything. And it was nice. I would say that explore as much as you can in college, because when you enter corporate, like, there are a lot of it's not so easy to be that much free and stress free, because you
Right.
have, like, it's not so easy, I would say. So
Right.
explore as much as you
Right,
can.
ma'am. All right. So, thank you so much, ma'am, for taking out your precious time for this. And I, on behalf of the entire team at EPMOC, wish you best of the efforts for your future, and that you keep soaring heights of success. It was a pleasure talking to you with you, and we had a great time recording this. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks.
Thank you.